Have you ever found yourself overthinking everything and still unable to make a decision? Should I change jobs or stay? Should I tell that person how I feel or keep it to myself? How do I guide my child toward the right path? The more information you gather, the less certain the answer seems. Open the internet and you'll find voices arguing both sides of every question. Read one more book and your options multiply. Let me look into it a little more. Let me think about it just a little longer. Before you know it, months have slipped by. You know that feeling, don't you? We tend to believe that if we become smart enough, the right answer will reveal itself. Somewhere deep down, we're convinced that more knowledge means less confusion. But is that really true? Today, I'd like to share a story about what the Buddha called true wisdom. About 2,500 years ago, a scholar came to visit the Buddha. This man was among the most learned in all of India at the time. He had memorized numerous sacred texts and was deeply versed in philosophy and logic. People around him said, "There is no question he cannot answer," and held him in great respect. And yet the scholar's face carried no light. If anything, it was shadowed by a deep and quiet exhaustion. He sat down before the Buddha and began to speak. "I have spent my life studying every teaching I could find. I have sat at the feet of every master, read every text available to me, and yet my heart finds no peace. The more I learn, the more I do not know. What is the truth of this world? Why do human beings suffer? Just when I think I am drawing closer to an answer, a new question rises to take its place. The more I study, the more I feel I am wandering deeper into a forest of confusion, and I cannot find my way out." The Buddha listened in silence. Then gently he asked a question. "Have you ever crossed a river?" The scholar blinked, puzzled. "Yes, of course." The Buddha continued. "When you crossed, you used a raft. Now, once you reached the other shore, what did you do with it? Did you say, 'This raft served me so well, it is a wonderful thing,' and hoist it onto your back to carry it wherever you walked?" The scholar shook his head. "No, that would make it impossible to walk. I left the raft at the water's edge." The Buddha smiled, slowly and warmly. "Knowledge is like a raft. It is necessary for crossing the river. But if you cling to it after you have crossed, it only weighs you down and holds you in place. You are not suffering because you lack knowledge. You are suffering because you cannot put it down." The scholar felt something shift inside him, a quiet jolt of recognition. All this time he had been so focused on accumulating knowledge that he had never simply used it to cross and move on. Learning had become the destination itself. He had been walking through life with dozens of rafts piled on his back. That day, it is said, the scholar became one of the Buddha's disciples. At the heart of this story is a teaching about wisdom, what the Buddha meant by true wisdom. In Buddhism, wisdom is not about how much you know. It is the ability to see things as they truly are and to live without being thrown about by them. Let me put it another way. In our everyday lives, we carry many filters inside us. This is how things should be. This is what's normal. That person is like this. I am that kind of person. We see the world not as it is, but through these filters, our assumptions, our fixed ideas, our habitual ways of interpreting things. And so reality becomes obscured. We paint our own colors over what is actually there. Then we suffer. Not from reality itself, but from the story we have written on top of it. Wisdom is the capacity to notice these filters, to take a quiet step back and think, I'm seeing this through my own assumptions right now. That gentle awareness is what Buddhism calls wisdom. The Buddha taught that all things are in constant change. The person you were yesterday is not exactly who you are today. The people around you are changing too. Circumstances shift, seasons turn, the heart moves, and yet we insist, it must be the same as yesterday. It must be the same as last year. That insistence is where suffering takes root. True wisdom also means having the strength to accept that some things cannot be fully known, not needing to understand everything before you move, not waiting for the perfect answer before taking the next step. That is what it means to set down the raft and walk. So how can we bring this wisdom into our everyday lives? The first practice is this: make space, deliberately, to step away from information. We live in a world overflowing with it. The moment you pick up your phone, news, social media, videos, articles, they pour in, one after another. It can feel like you're getting smarter, but more often, what's actually happening is that your mind is growing tired, and your ability to make clear decisions is quietly fading. Just 10 minutes a day is enough. Put down your phone, look out the window, take a slow, deep breath, sit with a cup of tea, and let yourself simply taste it. That small act of stillness lets you set down some of the rafts you've been carrying without even noticing. The second practice is learning to tell the difference between thinking and feeling. Say you're facing a big decision at work. Writing out the pros and cons, thinking it through logically, that matters. But sometimes, even after all of that, you still can't seem to decide. In moments like that, try closing your eyes for just a moment and ask your body, when I imagine choosing this path, what do I feel in my chest? If there's a tightening, a kind of constriction, that is telling you something. If there's a quiet loosening, a sense of lightness, that too is a meaningful signal. When we try to live entirely inside our heads, we wander into that forest of confusion. Learning to listen to the body and the heart alongside the mind, that is one way to practice seeing things as they truly are. The third practice is letting go of the need to find one single right answer. We tend to believe there is always one correct choice, but in most of life's real moments, that isn't how it works. Whichever path you take, a new road opens from it. Whichever you choose, there will be things you regret and things that bring you joy. When the Buddha said, "Leave the raft behind," he was also saying, do not cling to the idea of a perfect answer. Being frozen by the search for perfection helps no one. It is better to move forward with 70% certainty than to stand still waiting for 100. Once you take that step, the landscape changes. And when the landscape changes, what you need to do next often becomes visible. Naturally, quietly, on its own. And the fourth practice, perhaps the most important of all, is understanding that knowing about something and truly understanding it are two entirely different things. Many people know that going to bed early and waking up early is good for their health. Far fewer actually do it. Many people know that being kind to others matters, and yet when we are exhausted, kindness does not always come easily. That is simply part of being human. What we know as information in our minds and what we have truly absorbed through living are completely different things. The wisdom that Buddha spoke of is not knowledge sitting in your head. It is a living capacity, something you can actually use in the middle of daily life. If you can notice even once, I was overthinking again today, that is already the first step of wisdom. Noticing, that is where everything begins. You don't need to do it perfectly. Just pause once today. Take one slow breath. That is more than enough. These small, gentle practices layered one upon another are quietly growing something real inside you. True wisdom, in its own unhurried time. If there is one thing I hope you carry with you from today's story, let it be this. True wisdom is not knowing everything. It is the spaciousness of heart that allows you to say, I don't know, and that's okay. We feel anxious without our armor of information. We lose confidence without our fortress of facts. But no matter how much knowledge we pile up, that anxiety does not go away, because knowledge on its own cannot fill the heart. It is okay not to know. It is okay to be uncertain. Even without a clear answer, you can live this one day with care. You can meet the person in front of you with your whole heart. That in itself is already a deeply wise way to live. Set down the raft. Walk lightly. Perhaps without even realizing it, your feet have already reached the other shore. Thank you, truly, for staying with me until the very end. That's all for today's story. On this channel, we explore the Buddha's teachings as a gentle guide for living this present moment with a little more calm and clarity. If these words have meant something to you, I would be so glad if you'd consider subscribing. Until then, may today and tomorrow bring you a little peace.